Hi, hello, it's Sugar, and welcome to my normal and heroic boss guide for Rygelon. This encounter rotates between two phases. Tanks should take the boss off to the side of the room, while range and healers spread loosely in the middle. During phase 2, the raid will need to stack up together for easier healing and to deal with the mechanic in heroic. Heroes should be used on pull. Rygelon will smack the tanks with corrupted strikes that inflict physical damage. Any damage that is not mitigated turns into corrupted wounds. This inflicts damage every second for 10 seconds and stacks. Swap after every corrupted strike cast, or when stacks of corrupted wounds get too high. While this is happening, collapsing Quasars will spawn. These 6 adds need to be DPS down, mostly by range, before reaching the boss. If they hit the boss, Quasar Radiation will buff him for 21 seconds, increasing damage done by 30% and pulsing raid-wide AoE. This buff can stack. Use slows, roots, and other forms of CC to prevent these from reaching the boss. If any of these adds get close, melee should jump off the boss and help DPS them down. In heroic, Accretion will cause the Quasars to move faster and put a cap on how much they can be slowed by. On death, these Quasars will leave behind a collapsing Quasar field that lasts for 6 seconds. Use this to remove the debuff Dark Eclipse. Anyone with this debuff should run over the field. Each can only be used once. If anyone fails to remove the debuff, Dark Eruption will occur, dealing damage to all players. When removing the debuff, Event Horizon will give the player a temporary view of the other realm. Afterwards, they will explode, doing damage to anyone within 5 yards. In heroic, Manifest Cosmos will spawn cosmic cores around this time. These medium-sized blue glowing orbs need to be soaked by nearby players. These deal cosmic damage and leave a dot that stacks up, snaring the player. Ice Block and other similar immunities are very useful here to help negate the damage. Celestial Terminator creates lines of stellar material on the floor. Avoid these. At 100 energy, Rygelon will begin to cast Massive Bang, which will wipe the raid if they are not safe inside an unstable matter field. To spawn these, the raid should DPS down one of the unstable matter orbs when his energy is around 80 to 90%. When this orb is defeated, it will spawn multiple fields around its location. Each player needs to use their own field in order to enter the next phase. In normal, phase 2 is basically the same as phase 1, just gray and sad. The added mechanic here is called Eternal Radiation, and this does raid-wide damage every 2 seconds. Healers will want to rotate their healing CDs here. In heroic, unstable cores spawn, and the raid will want to stack up on these. Stellar Decay will erupt on the raid, and any damage that is inflicted to players from this is reflected back at the core. You won't need to worry about DPSing it because of this. Cleaving it with the boss is fine. When the core is destroyed, a gravitational collapse is left behind. A tank will need to soak this, or the raid will be hit with the damage instead. Rygelon will cast Shatter Sphere, removing all players from the realm. Unstable Antimatter will deal a burst of damage to the raid. In heroic, if any unstable cores were still up, Antimatter core Meltdown will wipe the raid. From here, these phases repeat until the boss is defeated. Here's your TLDR. Phase 1, Hero on Pull. Tank swap on every cast of Corrupted Strikes or when Corrupted Wounds gets too high. Nuke and slow the Quasars. Use the field left behind to remove Dark Eclipse. Don't let them hit the boss or he'll be buffed. In heroic, soak the cosmic cores. Avoid the Celestial Terminator lines. At 80 to 90% energy, nuke an unstable matter orb to spawn the fields that protect the raid from Massive Bang. Phase 2, Corrupted Strikes and Wounds are still active. Healers use CDs as needed for Eternal Radiation. In heroic, stack up on an unstable core. Use personals here. It will nuke itself over time, keep damage on the boss. Tanks soak the gravitational collapse left behind. Don't soak twice in a row. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and if you did, check out the others on my channel. To see my team and I clear this raid on live, check out my Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 PM Eastern Time. Okay, bye!